Okay, so we're gonna go through bits of your call now. We might not get through all of it. We might just do some of it. The purpose of this is just to make you more competent with this type of selling, and also just if it can contribute towards selling in general, fantastic. I did these same things with Eon quite heavily in the first couple of years. They were always, probably Ian will tell you, quite uncomfortable. I think, as you probably know me stylistically, I'm quite direct, but it all comes from a good place.
Yeah.
And the goal is really to, of course, make you more effective over the phone. So
Okay.
you're ultimately a blonde female. So there's going to be men who are going to look at you and put you in a place that is going to mean you're
Yes.
going to have to, over time, become technically more competent, much in the same way that
Hmm.
it was good, for example, when I spoke to Boohoo, that was over the phone, because as an Indian male, I don't really associate with the pro forma of what you'd want in, for example, a catering environment. These are just,
Yeah.
the realities, and it's fine. It is what it
Yeah.
is. We work with that. We work with common stereotypes. So I think that, generally speaking, the better you can become technically, the more you're going to pleasantly surprise people. Because if I'm
Yeah.
a guy who looks older than you, I'm going to be like, I don't want a fucking woman who I don't even know if she knows anything about SEO. That's a place that some people come from, as you understand.
No, I know, I know. Just can I just say that on that, Deepak, I completely know and understand exactly what you're talking about, exactly what you're talking about. And I think, yes, I was quite soft on this call, right? And I'm not always like that, but I'm just gonna, and this is not an excuse, right? Because I'm glad you brought that up, because I completely agree with you. Sometimes what I tend to do is, depending on the person, I will mirror the energy a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you notice something about this guy, he's very calm, he's very collected, he's very relaxed, he's not very alpha. And if I come in too over alpha with that, I feel like sometimes that's a little bit of a thing. So I do understand what you're saying, just to let and I do know, but I will be more conscious of that going forward now
Yeah.
that you've brought it up. But I do sometimes will take I sometimes will take on a little bit of a different energy depending on the man that I'm speaking to, or the woman. But
That makes
no,
sense.
just noted as well. Yeah.
Agreed. No, that makes sense. That makes sense, and I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
So this will be quite. Let's start anyway, and I'll kind of get into stuff. I wouldn't laugh there, not as an opener, because it plays into the idea of nervousness. So just a bit more serious at the beginning.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. That's something that'd be more typical of an outbound sales environment, where you placed a call in his
Okay.
calendar. So you wouldn't
Yeah,
say that
yeah.
if he's like, "Well, I came to your front door and I fucking knocked, so you don't need to thank me." It's
Okay.
more. Does that make sense? So yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense. 1 second, D, because I'm just writing notes. So okay, drop the thing at the beginning. Okay, cool. And more like I have the gold, not you have the gold type of
correct,
energy.
correct.
Okay. Like, yeah, you're look, yeah,
He knocked on our door. He went through the
yeah,
trouble of filling in a form, writing in what he wants, attending the meeting, and
yeah.
then so it's not even about the energy. This is about frame control
Yeah,
of.
yeah, no, yeah, of course, yeah, I get that. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, 100%. I have
I'm
the gold. Yeah,
recording this.
got
I'm
that.
recording this call also anyway, so don't worry if you miss things, because
Cool.
it's fine. You can watch it playback.
No problem.
Again, we spoke about that on the voice note already. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
usually don't go with the whole phrase as well. That's the thing. It just slipped out.
it's okay. It's
So, but
okay.
yeah,
Do you have his? You know what? I want to check one thing. I want to check
his URL.
his calendar booking link. Yeah, and his URL. So I wanna show something to you, how I would, based upon fundamentally what happens during a call. So I out of the gate demonstrate a tiny bit of product, give the perception that I've done some research. So can you send his website URL in the chat
Yeah, sure.
if
Give
you
me
have
just
it?
one
If you
moment
don't have
and
it, it's not a
I
problem.
will grab it for you. Dun, dun. Yeah, no, I do have it because he's in my it all saves into your calendar. So that's I won't be a moment. Okay, cool. Edward, here he is. Dun dun dun.
Previous bookings, isn't it?
All right, got it. Stanford News, Stanford.
Here we go. I got it.
That's him. Oh, sorry, you got it quicker. You got it quicker than me. There we go.
Okay, so I would open the call literally. So 2 minutes before the call, this is what I do. So I go to. I'll show you. I'll pretend that the call is starting, in 2 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever, and I'll be like, "Call Edward Davies."
Cutting out a little bit, D.
Can you hear me? Okay, still. I'm not saying anything at the moment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah. You was cut. Yeah, I can hear you now. You was cutting a little bit before. Sorry.
I want to change my.
I don't, I don't know.
That's okay.
Oh, sorry, it's me. I was doing this just randomly.
Let me 1 second. I can't. Is it better now? Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
better
Fine.
now.
So basically, I'd quickly Google their name and I'd quickly Google the website. So I'd have his LinkedIn up always, and I'd have the website up always. And I would open up new website as well. So I already have noticed something that's critical, and it's also reflected in this thing here, like Stanford and New Stanford. So I'd have opened the call by saying something along the lines of. And I'd also look at how does he address himself? Is it Edward or Ed? So he calls himself Edward. Okay, fine. So I'd say, so Edward, first of all, thank you so much for booking in the call. I know that you've got your, let's see what kind of website this is. You've got your stationery. What does he call it?
That was him as well. You had up as well.
E-commerce. Okay, fine. We'll say e-commerce. So I'd say something on the lines of, Edward, first of all, just want to, of course, thank you for booking in a call with us. I have had a look at Stanford's, and as I understand, you've got, of course, your e-commerce platform, and you're looking to move it onto the Magento. Move it. Let me just have a look. Did you say Magento 2? Magento 2. Okay, great. Here we go.
Yes.
Looking for SEO assistant to assure after the migration, which suggests that they're in the middle of the migration, right? So I'd say something along the lines of, "Hey, Edward, how you doing? First of all, just want to say thank you for booking the call. So I understand that you've got your e-commerce platform that's on Magento, and you're either looking at migrating or you're in the midst of a migration. I've of course noticed on your homepage that you're already directing people to the new website, and as I can appreciate, during that migration, a company that's been established as long as yours, you want to make sure that you retain all of the SEO value. And given that you're, of course, the head of e-commerce at Stanford, this is probably really critical to your role. So yeah, I'd love for you to pick it up from there and just talk me through the specifics of what you're looking for. Do you see how I've used his calendar booking?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I do. And how you found it, and because they provide their LinkedIn, so you were able to get the job title. And I see what you did with the step. So you thanked with confidence, not so much, oh, thank you, but more like, oh, thank you. Do you know what I mean? And then you've taken a look and haven't got, and yes, I heard what you said. And then you've gone and used his job title and sort of swung it in, but you've kept it short and sweet as well.
Yeah. So basically, you can find the relevant. Think of it basically like the fucking ATSs, applicant tracking systems, or when you go into a job, they just look for some fucking buzzwords, and every calendar booking will give you the buzzwords. You want to know the name of the bloke, obviously. You want to know their job title, which you should be able to identify on LinkedIn, and then the information will reveal a lot. So he said after the migration, which tells you that either in migration or they're mid migration. On their homepage, you know what kind of business it is typically, and then you can maybe even look at the About Us page, because I did that in obviously like a minute or two. But once you've jotted down some key things, you might go onto here, and I might find, because they've been around forever, they've got About Us, our history, and these are the key things that people want to hear when they get onto a call. So here we go. So this tells us already. So then now, based upon the this site, established in, okay, so I'd say, Edward, first of all, just want to thank you for booking in with us at Pearl Lemon. And I've taken a look at Stanford's, and first of all, just want to say I'm really impressed by how long you guys have been in business, all the way from 1853, I think, if memory serves. And of course, you're in the middle of, potentially in the middle or at the start of a migration at the moment, based upon, of course, Magento 2. And from what I read and looked up online myself, it looks like you want to ensure that you've got enough SEO value that carries over after the migration. And of course, given that you're the head of e-commerce at Stanford's, you want to make sure that you're still ranking for all of your maps, your travel books, and all of the other travel accessories. So that's kind of, my understanding. And from there, I'd love for you to pick up and tell me, what challenges you're having right now and potentially how we could help. Boom. 1 minute.
Yeah, that is so good. That's so good. Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. You do that in
Yeah.
every pitch and it answers so many fucking questions. This person's done their research. This person is comfortable with the technical challenges of what we're doing. This person I feel like, oh, wow, this person is competent. And there's no pitch. Do you see how it's a really good pitch without even pitching anything? It's like, oh.
Yeah, I do see that. I do see that.
So
you're recording this as well, right?
Yeah, I am. So when I say frame control, it's actually not about dominance or this. It's about displaying competence and confidence with subject matter and feeling like the client feels like you know them, and you don't. It's just fucking 10 seconds of looking at some key things that are notable.
Yeah.
And then if you drop them into your opening pitch, and again in the beginning, it might take you 10 minutes to kind of figure out that, but then it will get really, really quick because you've done acting, you've done presentation. It's the same principle. Here's your fucking script, and you just got to look for some of the key things and be like, oh, okay, cool. This is what I've got to say. This is what I'm saying, and then from there, it's mostly about obviously letting them talk.
Yeah, 100%. No, that makes a lot of sense. I get that completely.
Cool. Let's keep going.
And frame control. Okay.
Why is it not fucking open? Cool. View together in the room. Maybe I'll try it the other way.
And I see how all of those little changes will make.
Sorry, hold on. What were you saying? Unmute yourself. It mutes you automatically. It mutes you automatically. This YouTube thing, yeah.
I just said I see how all of those changes will make a difference. That's what I said.
Yeah. It makes such a big difference in people's perception of you because the first 15 seconds they make a shitload of judgments about you, and it's there. It's you know this anyway. So and it's once you have that process, it's much easier to know exactly at the beginning of every call what to fucking say because the process is the fucking same. Look at their LinkedIn, look at this. And as you get better at understanding what to look for, you might say, and I saw that you've been at Stanford for just a couple of months now. So congratulations on the new job as well. And of course, I can imagine that part of that is making, your own imprint on the firm. And I want to be the person at Pearl Lemon who's going to help you do that. And it'd be like, oh, wow. And all you did is notice it's just noticing a lot of things, but tying it all together into one really focused narrative. So that then it's like, cool. And then as you can see, it's 5 minutes of prep before the call. And then like it sets you up. And most people don't fucking do that for whatever reason because they're dickheads. But that's what you can do. Let's go back to here. Do you see how, if I was devil's advocate, this chick has turned up, she hasn't done any fucking research, she doesn't know anything about my business, I'm already like cross. You unmute yourself. Sorry, you're muted. It mutes you. It's annoying.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, 100%, D. I can see exactly what you're talking about. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Cool. Well, look, I think that in terms of today, we can stop there because that's going to change a lot of your pitches. Let's just go.
I'm good with constructive criticism. That's the thing about me. I'm really good at taking things on board. Even when you said you was like, oh, I was just like, oh, I'm fine, D, man. I was just like, this man, I'm fine. Don't worry. It's good because I've learned so much. I've literally, even just you going through all of those points has made me see, oh, okay, even just that is going to make such a difference. So
yeah. And
I agree.
I'm good at selling. I'm very good at sales. I don't mean that from a place of like, oh, look at me, but this stuff,
no,
I
look
get
at
it.
You.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have time now, or do you have to go? Do you have like 5
1
minutes?
second.
Okay.
Bear with me 1
Okay.
second. Hello. Hey, are you coming now? Are you here? Oh, okay. All right. Let me let you in. 1 second. I will, because the handyman's just turned up. So give me a second. I'm gonna let him in, and then I will be here now, actually, because that's just
Okay.
changed my entire plans. Yeah, it's not working. And then when you replace it, you can put it, because I think sometimes also when we come through, so this is the place.
Problem is it's very big.
Oh, that works there.
It maybe put up.
So that one's going to be too big. We need to sit similar size, because otherwise it's gonna. We sometimes keep the door open, and we will end up banging this as well.
What happened if you put it?
No. Yeah. I don't know why the guy didn't tell you. I mean, yeah, this is not gonna.
It's very hard to find on them.
Well, this is the same one we bought. The same one as there. Same size.
Why not put this one here? If you know working, can this one there?
I would prefer just to replace this one with it. I mean, you can get a slightly bigger one, but that one's just quite big.
It's very big.
How big is it?
There's a foot over. It's coming up to the floor. See?
Let me see.
Right. You see? I left it a bit space.
As long as there's space here, then that's okay. As long as there's space on this side.
Yeah, it's coming up to this floor.
But as long as this doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So put it up. Let me just show me that. Let me just
No.
see.
Like this. Before it's a bit like this.
What about the switch here? It doesn't matter.
It's not working. I put on after it. This is very easy to take out because only this one is the low pressure.
Okay. Well, look.
Because I don't know where I'm calling because I'm only me. There's no more hand, you know.
Okay.
I'm very busy in this area.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Fine. If you want to do this one, then do this one. But the thing is that no one called me and told me you were coming or said nothing. You just
I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
I don't know this guy every time. Okay, okay. Go there, go there.
Okay. Okay.
And the manager is talking.
Lydia, give me 1 more minute. I've got
No problem.
I've got to call and have a go at someone. I'll ring you back. I'll message you.
It's okay.
How long do you think you'll need?
And they go somewhere.
I did. I didn't know you were coming. No one told me. How long do you think you'll need? 1 hour?
No. 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. As long as it works. Hey, Lydia. Yeah, let's continue. Sorry.
So I was just going to ask you if I could just site in SEO. I've got like, and I've seen great training videos and stuff, but I would wanted to know what, you know, when you look at something, what you see and what stands out to you. If you could we just do that 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
Is that okay? Or is that,
Yeah,
is
no,
that,
no, look, it's fine.
and,
It's fine. My afternoon's just changed. It's fine.
And okay, cool. And if we could do it through Hrefs as well, that would be great as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to take advantage of your expertise of
no, that's cool.